Hey guys, welcome to another product showcase video. Today's product comes to us from Scythe, and we're looking at the Mugen3 CPU cooler. Okay, if any of you guys are familiar with the Mugen series from Scythe, they've been a very popular series. The Mugen 2 was actually extremely popular with overclockers, enthusiasts that wanted to push their CPUs. Did an excellent job of cooling for the price range, and I think we're going to see an even better improvement with the Mugen 3, including some connections for newer socket styles, including the 1155 and 1156, as well as 1366. This will also work on your AMD platforms, AM2, AM2 Plus, and AM3. We're going to have a quick go around on the box here, looking at some of the mounting accessories for it. It's got overall dimensions. We'll get into that in just a minute. A lot of information on the box about the product itself, as well as showing you some information about the airflow setup for it for cooling and the mounting bases and stuff for it. Okay, before we get too deep here, let's have a look at the dimensions itself. It's 130 by 108 by 158 millimeter. It weighs in at 826 grams. The fan that comes with it is their Slipstream PWM fan. It is a 4-wire fan that can be monitored through your motherboard, or speed can be adjusted through the motherboard. Fan speeds are 300 RPMs up to 1600 RPMs. This offers from 0 to 74.25 CFM, so it moves a lot of air through the cooler. Noise level is 0 to 26.50 decibels, so it's very quiet. Input current is 18 amps. So now that we got that out of the way, let's open up the box and have a closer look at the item itself. Okay, inside the package we have our universal backing plate, our top plates for AMD and Intel, our mounting screws and hardware, including some rubber O-rings for anti-vibration, and a small container of thermal compound. We have two of the mounting clips for the fan. These are also available from their website if you need to order a couple more of these if you want to do a push-pull on the cooler, but they will supply two of them with it to mount the initial fan itself. Here's a look at the Scythe Slipstream fan. Very nice fans, 4-pin connector to go to your motherboard, so you can monitor it through software through the motherboard, as well as the installation instructions themselves that are going to show you how to install it on your different platforms, AMD or Intel. Let me set this stuff aside and we'll have a closer look at the cooler itself. Okay, taking a closer look at the cooler itself. There are 48 cooling fins on it. It has 6mm heat pipes on it. Couple of nice things that I wanted to mention about this style. If you'll notice, if I turn it sideways, just how narrow it is right in the center part here. And I think what they were going for is, as we see a lot of newer CPU coolers having trouble with the tall RAM chips, the coolers that are mounted onto the memory chips themselves get in the way of the CPU cooler. So they kind of designed it so it's not much wider actually than the base. If I turn it over here, you can see what I mean. It's only a little bit wider in the center part here than the base itself. So if you're running a tall RAM chip, something that's got heat coolers on it, it's not going to interfere with it itself. You can see notches on both sides. That is to mount your clips for your cooling fan. So you could either use this as a push-pull setup or a dual fan setup. You could have it either way you want. Turn it to blow towards the top of your case or towards the back of your case, depending on what your preference is. It has a nice nickel-plated base on it, machined base, so it's going to make great contact with your CPU cooler. I love the design of the heat pipes, the way they set them up to run through the fins. I don't know if you can make that out in the camera, maybe on the sideways. You can kind of see how they're running up through the fins at a little bit of an offset to give you as much heat dispersion as possible. And I also like the fact that they put these caps on the ends of the heat pipes. It just gives it a nice finished look, adds a little elegance to the cooler. Very nice looking cooler. It's going to look nice in anybody's case, be a nice addition to your new computer build. But now let's get on to the temperatures themselves. We're going to do some benchmarking on this. We're going to compare it with a stock Intel cooler and see what kind of different temperatures we can get from it and what to expect from it. Okay, just prepping the board for the first test. First test we're going to do is with the stock Intel quad-core CPU cooler, socket 775 cooler, and we're going to do it on the Gigabyte G31 board with an Intel D820 processor that's been lapped. So we just put a dollop of CPU compound on there. We're going to mount the cooler and check the temperatures. Okay, our first test is just on the idle temperature on the stock Intel cooler, using Everest to monitor the temperature. Right now we're idling at about 44 degrees. Here's our temperature inside the room. The lower one is our inside. We're running at almost 26 degrees Celsius. So let's run Prime 95 and see how much it warms up. Okay, we've been running Prime 95 for about 20 minutes. Currently at about 62 degrees. Highest I've seen it get was 65. So we're going to shut it down now. Okay, we wanted to see how well this cooler is going to work with overclocking also. So with the stock cooler still on there, we cranked it up from 2.8 to 3.4 gigahertz. And currently our idle temperature is about 54 degrees. So we're going to start up Prime to 95 and see how warm it gets. Okay, running Prime 95 on the overclock. We've seen a max temperature of about 71 Celsius. So now we're going to switch over to the Mugen 3. Well, one more feature I noticed when I went to mount the Mugen 3 is the rubber backing they have on the back plate itself to keep it from being able to ground out on the back of the motherboard. Also, it rises it up a little bit, as you can see there, to keep any of the backing plate from touching any of the solder points on the back of the motherboard. I thought that was a really nice feature and worth mentioning. Okay, now we're back to stock clocks, 2.8 gigahertz with the Mugen 3 cooler on there. This is the idle temperature. We're idling around 27, 28 degrees, quite a difference from the stock cooler. Let's run Prime 95 and see what the temperatures are. Okay, we've been running Prime 95 for a while on 2.8 gigahertz. Been seeing right around 37, 38 degrees. Very nice, lower than what the idle temperature was with the stock cooler. So let's overclock this back to 3.4 and we'll see what the temperatures are then. Okay, right now our idle temperature is about 32. We have it overclocked again to 3.4 gigahertz. Let's fire up Prime 95 and see what the temperatures get to. Okay, we've been running Prime 95 for a while. As you can see, the temperature is about 41. 42 is the max that I've seen on it. That's just amazing. That's lower than what we had stock speeds idling with the Intel cooler, and this is overclocked and running Prime 95 at the moment. So amazing cooling for this particular unit. I think it's really going to be a success for Scythe. I'm very happy with what I've seen with it, some of the innovations they put into it, and especially the temperatures that we're seeing with it. This is going to retail for around $45 in the US, around 40 euros for our European people. But I think that for this price range, there's not going to be much that's going to touch it. I would highly recommend it for any new build you're doing. The temperatures don't lie. You've seen the videos on it. This thing does an amazing job of cooling, and I think Scythe is really going to do well with this one. But we want to thank them for providing it for our showcase, and as always, I want to thank you for watching.